This is Kepler's law of planetary motion. Kepler proposed three laws. The first one says about the law of orbit. The second one is the law of areas, and the third one is the law of period. The first one is based on conservation of energy. The second one is based on conservation of angular momentum, and the third one is based on balance between the forces of gravitation attracting the planet towards the sun and the centrifugal force away from the sun due to its orbital speed. So I will prove all these theories over here. Laws basically. The first law suggests that if this is a elliptical orbit, this is the major axis, this is the semi major axis, that is A, this is semi minor axis, that is B. So first law suggests that sun is situated one of its focus of the elliptical orbit around the sun, in which the planets and other celestial bodies are revolving. So suppose this is our earth and this is the sun. Okay, so we know if there is a ellipse, then it will have two focal points. This is a focus, this is a focus, and sun is situated one of its focus. Why and how we can prove this, that the earth is rotating, or the planets are rotating around the sun in an elliptical orbit? Because we know as the earth is rotating, the kinetic energy related to the earth will be half mv square, that is the mass of the earth and the velocity of the earth in which it is rotating. And the potential energy, how the potential energy will be affected? Sun is over here and earth is here, so there will be a potential in between them, that is minus g m. Capital M is the mass of the sun, small m is the mass of the planet or earth over here, divided by r. Okay, so the total energy will be kinetic energy plus potential energy, that is our total energy total. If the energy total is greater than 0, means this part is higher, so the rotational velocity will be higher than that of the potential energy, so the earth or the planets will escape away from the position, and okay, this will escape away, taking a hyperbolic or parabolic path. If it is E greater than 0 and E is equal to 0, then it cannot exist as a like in a elliptical orbit. If E is less than 0, that means the potential energy has the high effect, so it will hold the planet and sun in an attractive force, so that it will revolve around it in an elliptical orbit. This is the first law. Okay, second law suggests that if the aerial velocity is constant. What is aerial velocity? If this is the elliptical orbit and sun is situated over here, if this is the planet, this is point P, this is Q, and again point R, point S, means the planet is moving from point P to Q in a time t, and same planet moving in the elliptical orbit from R to S, exactly taking the same time t. Then Kepler's second law suggests that the area covered by them in equal interval of time will be constant. That is, the areal velocity will be constant. How? We can prove it by conserving the angular momentum. So basically I am taking the sun as the reference. P Q. Okay, so assume it as a perpendicular and is a right angle triangle, suppose O. So the area will be, area del A will be half, that is r distance, into this distance, but we don't know this distance. We have the velocity, that is v1 over here, that is okay. So we know distance by time is equal to velocity. Then this distance will be, this distance pq distance will be, distance is equal to v1 into t. So I am putting v1 into t over here. So you have to basically prove that del A by del T equal to constant, that is aerial velocity is equal to constant. So I am taking del A and taking the del T part, okay, from this side. The right hand side will have R into V1. But we know V is equal to P by M. What is V? This is P is equal to angular momentum. M is the mass of the planet. So angular momentum is, sorry, not angular momentum. This is linear momentum. Linear momentum P is equal to mass into velocity, right? Then V, at the time, at the place of V we can put V equal to P by M. Right now we know that linear momentum into R will be angular momentum, okay, that is half L by M. So basically if we prove this part as constant, then we can say del A by del T is constant. So half is a number, so it is constant. M is mass of the, M is mass of the planet, so it is also constant. We have to just prove L is equal to constant. How? L is angular momentum. We know that tau, that is torque, is equal to rate of change of angular momentum, dl by dt. What is tau over here? This is planet, this is the sun, this is the planet. So the force acting, you know that tau is equal to force into perpendicular distance, right? But the force acting towards each other, right, that is the gravitational force. So F cross R, that is Fr sine theta, the theta will be 0. Okay, what is torque? You have studied it in physics in plus 2 level, right? So if this is a center point and this is the r distance, we are applying a force over here. Then tau, the torque will be F cross R. But the force is directly parallel to R here. So the theta between the F and R will be 0. That is why sine theta will be 0. So tau will be 0. We know from differentiation method, if some differentiation or derivative of something is 0, then L will be constant, right? So we have already proved 2 half is constant, m is the mass of the planet is constant, and L is constant. So we proved that del A by del T is constant. Okay, so with respect to time, means from P to Q, if the planet is traveling with a time of T, and from R to S, if it is traveling exactly with the same time T, then it will cover same area with same time, right? So this is the second law. And there is no space over here, so that I can put a screen to prove the third law. Third law suggesting that the orbital, the orbital square of the orbital time is directly proportional to q of the orbital radius with reference to the sun. Suppose this is the elliptical orbit, this is sun, this is our planet, and this is the r we are talking about, and time it takes to cover the whole elliptical orbit is t. Okay, orbital period. So we can prove it by balancing two forces, that is mv square by r. M is the mass of the planet, okay, m, because it is the centrifugal force. Why we are balancing these forces? Because the planet is not going this way or this way, it is constantly over here, means stay in a stable position. So there must be two equal and opposite forces balancing each other. The centrifugal force over here, that is outer of the orbit, and the gravitational force towards the center. What is the gravitational force? We know G, capital M is the mass of the sun, small m is the mass of the planet, is equal to by r square. So we are balancing both the forces, so cancelling out m both sides, 1 r from this side. So v square will be basically G, capital M, that is the mass of the sun here, divided by r. We know v is equal to, sorry, omega is equal to v by r. So v will be omega r, and also omega is equal to 2 pi by t to r. So directly put the value over here, 2 pi r by t square is equal to gm by r. So 4 pi square r square by t square will be gm by r, that is t square is equal to 4 pi square by gm into by gm into r cube. So 4 is constant, pi is constant, g is the gravitational constant, m is the mass of the sun, that is constant. So this term is constant, so t square we can say directly related to active. Okay, so this is the proof of Kepler's third law. So this is the end of this class.